Hey friends, welcome to the channel. Mike here, and today we are going to do some tractor work because it's a tractor channel and it's been a while since we've really done any serious tractor work. Although this won't be super serious, it's going to be some backhoe work, which typically people enjoy. Backhoe is not something everybody sprung the money for. Sometimes I wonder if I should have, but it's done a lot of work for me. Dug a lot of ditches and a lot of trenches, fixed the septic. So there's a long laundry list of things that I've used the backhoe for, and so I don't really have any regrets, but sometimes it sits for a while and I get anxious to use it. So today, that's what the video is about. We're going to be using the backhoe and we're going to be doing some basic cleanup work behind my ugly shed here. That last couple of videos have been about working on the shed. The wife and I are still arm wrestling over the doors and what I'm going to do with those, whether I'll trim them out, paint them, or maybe I'll just spring for another 300 bucks and go with some matching metal. So don't give up on me yet. But anyway, today we're going to go back behind it. I have my conduit that I dropped in a few months ago to run electrical to the shed, and I have two big piles of dirt from the holes that the contractor dug. I was going to try to slip in there and get that dirt out before they threw the building up, and it just didn't work out. It was either too wet or the cement was still drying, and I didn't want to run the risk of running into one of the posts because that would be bad. So long story short, the dirt is still back there, two big piles. I did move some of the dirt that was on the sides early on, but there's still two big piles of dirt back there. So we're gonna move those and then maybe gear up for sending my conduit into the building. So thanks for stopping by, I appreciate it, and hope you enjoy the video, and here we go. All right guys, so the first thing we have to do is move some of this equipment. I've kind of used this little area in front of the well house for storing all of my attachments and kind of getting them out of the area of the driveway. And so I have them tucked in here randomly. Picked up some gravel and need to spread that around. I'm probably going to leave the dump trailer here because I'm basically just going to go behind it. But this area here, I'm going to have to move some of this equipment, so we're going to do that first. Okay guys, so I know some people are probably going to be wondering, why aren't you using a box blade or your bucket or another piece of equipment to deal with these piles back here? And I don't know if you could tell by watching the video or looking at the camera, but it's super duper soggy back here. And all I'm trying to do is just kind of push these piles down and make them a little bit flatter so I can deal with the electrical part of it and kind of get them set up for this summer when I can get the box blade in here and just level it all out nice and smooth. Box blade is not going to do that right now, because this clay, once you get into it, you'll be able to see that it's going to stick to my tires. It would just completely plug up the box blade. So I'm just trying to push it out of the way and kind of get it a little bit level and maybe get part of that trench in for the electrical. So I hope that clears that up. And I did a little bit of pushing and excavating without the downriggers down. I don't recommend that. If you're going to do that, you want to obviously do it very slow and not take on a lot of weight, because it puts a lot of pressure on the frame of the backhoe. So let's back at it. All right, guys, so I'm gonna call that done for now. I know it's not pretty. I told you it was gonna be a muddy mess, and it is. And like I said, box blade will be good once this dries out a little bit. I also wanted to pull the soil away from the building a little bit so I get a little better drainage, because those piles back there were not helping with that drainage issue. I wanted to mention a couple things about using the backhoe. There are tons of experienced people out there that are way more experienced than I am, so I'm not talking to those folks, but folks that maybe just got a backhoe, like this is their first tractor, this is their first backhoe, like I am or was. A couple of things that I've learned is, and I've mentioned these before, is especially when you're dealing with wet soil, you don't want to curl your bucket all the way when you're moving soil, because you'll lock that clay or whatever dirt you have in potentially, and then you will have to shovel it out or dig it out of the bucket in order to be productive. Once the bucket and the soil get stuck together, then you've basically deadened the water, or you're taking little tiny scoops versus filling the bucket. My bucket's already small enough, so when I scoop on this wet stuff, I just kind of don't curl it all the way so that I can be sure to be able to dump it out. The other thing I would caution about, besides not putting your downriggers down for every single action that you do, which is the best practice, is to not do a lot of that cross scooping and cross pushing like I was doing earlier. You got to be super careful when you're doing that sort of thing, and I've learned that from other folks and from watching other videos and listening to other people talk and seeing damage to backhoes. The arm, you know, it's sensitive at the top, and you're putting a lot of pressure on it when you're moving soil sideways, so you basically want to take a grab and scoop and kind of pull to the direction you want and not do a lot of side swooping of soil. And if you do that sort of thing like I was doing some of today, you want to make sure that you're taking really light scrapes off the top and not moving a ton of weight or a ton of soil at a time, or you can cause damage. So just keep that in mind. I definitely don't want to damage this backhoe, and I know other people don't want to damage theirs, and I don't want you to watch something I'm doing and thinking that it's safe to do necessarily without knowing the thought process that's going through my head. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know there wasn't much to it, but it was something that I wanted to get back to dig that trench for that electrical, and then also kind of push this soil away from the building and get it closer to the point where I can level it out and maybe put some gravel and drainage type stuff back here once we get some drier weather. So thanks again, take care. Thanks for subscribing and watching the videos and your support. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon.